Yeah, when it comes to fundraising for a presidential campaign, it is different. But having said that, I actually called Dan MANZO and told him he needs to apologize to Baba because Baba is still his party leader.
Raila Odinga has admitted that he knew these companies up to 2010 when he was Prime Minister. And it was one of the companies sponsoring his campaign so that he becomes president in 2012.
Wouldn't know, because when you have a presidential candidate, how they organize their finances normally is all left to themselves. And the running mate, and I think as Gachagua might himself probably concede, yeah, when it comes to fundraising for a presidential campaign, it is different. But having said that, I actually called Dan MANZO and told him he needs to apologize to Baba because Baba is still his party leader.
Yes, after Donny MANZO, the senator from Makueni, coming out to announce that the reason as to why the ADANI group is given a tender is because it supported Raila Odinga's election in 2012 and 2013. I think 2013. We all know that Dan MANZO accused Raila Odinga of ever getting political funds when he was running for president.
Yeah. ADANI is one of the big Indian companies, and Raila Odinga has admitted that he knew these companies up to 2010 when he was Prime Minister. And it was one of the companies sponsoring his campaign so that he becomes president in 2012.
Okay, and this came as a surprise. We all know that even very many Kenyans were shocked when Raila Odinga sided with Ruto to support ADANI. At least that was never expected. Okay, and Dan MANZO came out to reveal that Raila Odinga used to get funding from this ADANI. So today, Kalonzo Musyoka came out to deny that. In fact, he denied this on Citizen TV in an interview, saying that he was never in the know. And it shows you how Kalonzo Musyoka was even disrespected in the last election of 2022. Because the way he spoke, he showed a weak person who doesn't believe in him, who always wants to play a second fiddle, not knowing that the reason as to why Kalonzo Musyoka is where he is right now is because he ran for president. So in this episode, I've come to talk about the statements which are made by Kalonzo Musyoka, denying the funding, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this would be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. So we all know there was an accusation that was thrown around that ADANI used to fund Raila Odinga's political journey. And it's the reason as to why he came out to support it. In fact, even Raila Odinga didn't deny. He came out to say that he knew the ADANI when he was the Prime Minister. That was 2007. Although he didn't come out that he supported him. So there was a question which was supposed to be answered either by the two presidential candidates, that is Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka. When Kalonzo Musyoka was asked today, and I don't know, Kalonzo Musyoka makes a lot of mistakes. Even Raila Odinga going to the government, there is a vacuum which Kalonzo Musyoka has failed to fill in the opposition. Is the reason as to why the Gen Z rose up. Is the reason as to why Morara Kabeso is coming out. The day Gachagua is let off the hook by the parliament is going to fit it, because by the look of things, Gachagua is a fast runner as up in the opposition. Okay? Because of Kalonzo Musyoka handling issues not in the right way. Before I talk about this more, let me first give you the tape when Kalonzo Musyoka was talking about this. Here is the tape.
wouldn't know, because when you have a presidential candidate, how they organize their finances normally is all left to themselves. And the running mate, and I think as Gachagua might himself probably concede, yeah, when it comes to fundraising for a presidential campaign, it is different. But having said that, I actually called Dan MANZO and told him he needs to apologize to Baba, because Baba is still his party leader as of now, okay? So that is a matter that I do not want to comment on. The point is I don't know.
Because this is the reason Kalonzo Musyoka is called watermelon. A person abandons you in your position. A person is the one who baptized you a watermelon, and you still want to tell your lieutenants to apologize to Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Amolo Odinga cannot do that nonsense after abandoning him. He will in fact fight you. So Kalonzo Musyoka is trying not to break the bridge. In politics, if you want to go for land to break a bridge, that's why I like Gachagua. Gachagua has refused to resign because he has to fight. Okay? All great men attain positions because of fighting, because of maintaining ground. You cannot tell your lieutenants to apologize to a person who abandoned you, who baptized you a watermelon, who left you in the opposition without getting any share of government, and he gave his lieutenants, and you are telling your lieutenant to apologize him. Kalonzo Musyoka is stupid. Is the reason as why even in 2022 he was picked over Martha Karua. That was a betrayal, because you were with Raila Amolo Odinga for a long time. You even brought more votes than Martha Karua. But because of your weakness, how can you tell me that Deputy President you failed to finance your vote? You failed to finance your campaign. It's the reason they look down upon you. Gachagua, during the 2022 general election, he financed campaigns in Mountain Kenya. To an extent, he paid for media stations in Mountain Kenya, which he failed to get because by then the system fought it. But if Kalonzo Musyoka is coming out to speak like this, then I should support Raila Amolo Odinga for playing with you, for taking you like a kid. How can you tell your lieutenant to withdraw those statements when in fact your lieutenant is trying to fight Raila Amolo Odinga, who is fighting you back? There are higher chances that even Raila Amolo Odinga will not, even if he comes to run for president in 2022-7, he won't pick you. There are very many high chances. But you're here speaking nonsense. Let's continue.
Here. And you were on that ticket.
Yeah.
So you're saying you don't know, or ADANI was not involved?
I have no idea who ADANI is. I've never met him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And he didn't fund the campaigns, or did he?
I wouldn't know. How would I know? Because look at it, and this is the issue. Perhaps it is the core of what we are discussing.
Yeah.
Maybe Gachagua did not know how William Ruto funded his campaign.
Okay.
It is not always that because you're the running mate, you bring all the money to one basket.
But Mr. Kalonzo, help us understand.
It doesn't work that way.
All right. So how does it work? Because when we spoke to you here just a few minutes ago, you said the ticket is joint. It is one.
Yes.
Right?
But joint ticket does not mean joint financing, joint everything. It is in law a joint ticket.
Yes.
But when it comes to campaign financing...
In law is one thing, but help us understand then how this relationship works between a candidate, a presidential candidate and their running mate, a president and their deputy president. Because from what you're saying, from your personal experience with running with Raila Odinga in 2012...
Yeah, and 2013
yes.
and in 2017.
Correct.
All right?
So from what you're saying, this isn't then a joint ticket. Might be on paper or in law, but it isn't a joint ticket in the sense that you're working together. Is that what you're saying is the relationship between the two?
Let me tell you, look at all this, perhaps even look at Kamala Harris's campaign, which has raised a lot of money, all right?
So,
and of course that
it is very true that the financing may be left to the main presidential candidate. But where I fault Kalonzo is to come out to tell his lieutenant to apologize to Raila Amolo Odinga. In fact, if I was Kalonzo, I would break Azimio. You break Azimio so that you can start building another ship. Kalonzo Musyoka has failed to learn this. He's a bootlick of Raila Amolo Odinga. Okay? Despite the disrespect, he continues to bootlick Raila Amolo Odinga. Although it is true that the finances are normally known by the main presidential candidate. But in matters of accountability, even if finances are brought in the camp, they must be known at least by the principals. Okay? They can be known by the principles. Kalonzo is like saying that even the funding he gets, Raila Odinga that doesn't need to know. And what Raila Odinga gets, Kalonzo doesn't need to know. The reference is giving for Kamala Harris. When funding comes, it is even shown on TV that Kamala Harris got maybe $1 billion, so that even the deputy can know. So Kalonzo Musyoka, you are being disrespected.
Donald Trump. When you have the president, right, running as president, he has a team, including a campaign financiers and others who actually not even get to be known. But I can tell you my own experience straight away. I never asked Raila Odinga, can we raise money here? How much money have you raised? I never did.
Why?
Because it was not appropriate.
Why not?
It was not appropriate.
Why
and maybe that is why I'm different.
Okay,
because
let me ask.
I came out supporting Raila Odinga with my own resources.
Why would it not be appropriate for you? Your name is on the ticket.
Yeah.
You are the running mate.
Yeah.
If you would have won the election, you would be the deputy president.
Yeah.
And possibly next in line should a vacancy arise in the office of the president. So why would you be in the dark about such important things?
I think we have a lot more important business to discuss.
It's important for us to understand. No,
this one, allow me.
Allow us to, because...
not because Dan MANZO raised it here.
No, not because of that,
yeah.
But because you have now opened the door, and what we are trying to understand as Kenya,
then I tell you straight,
is the relationship between the two,
yes.
Right? And so you've said you didn't ask anything about the financing, but if something happens and as deputy president you were to rise to the position of president,
then we'll deal with it at that point.
But you didn't want to know how the campaign...
Yvonne tried to push Kalonzo Musyoka to stay on this. If I was Kalonzo Musyoka, first of all, I don't tell my lieutenant to apologize because we are in a political battle. Okay? This is why Raila Odinga looks down upon Kalonzo Musyoka. Secondly, if the finances are kept private by the main opposition, by the main presidential candidate, it means that even you, the funding you got, you kept it private. The difference between Kalonzo Musyoka's ticket and Raila Odinga that Kamala Harris, even in Kenya, the funding is gotten, put on TV that today we got 100 million, yesterday we got 200, so that you are in the know. Both the presidential candidate and his deputy know the funding. So it pins a loophole. People who fight for democracy are looking like this. In fact, if I was Kalonzo Musyoka and I'm fighting Raila Odinga, first of all, you don't come out to buttress the point, nor deny. You just say like, maybe it is true, I will have to do what? To check my facts. And you don't also come out to say that you don't ask about the funding. You come out to say that we funded our campaign together so that you can look strong in the eyes of Kenyans. But when you come out to say that you left the campaign to Raila Odinga, it's the way it normally spits on you. So Kalonzo Musyoka has a weakness. In fact, I thought that Gachagua was going to pick Kalonzo Musyoka as running mate in case the courts don't uphold the impeachment. But it seems to me that he's not a credible candidate. Gachagua should look for Natembeya, because even Western has a big block vote. Or Wetangula, if he can sweet talk him. Because I know the ticket for Gachagua will win. And if it's combined by lawyers, it will win. That is the weakness of Kalonzo Musyoka. That's why they normally look down on him. Of course, that's my opinion. Do make comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.